Alright. Everything's looking good. I had to reconfig my headset because the audio decided to randomly explode, but that's a-okay. Let's actually turn it up slightly because I'm noticing the volume isn't getting as high as I normally see it, which is a-okay. I just want to make sure the audio is coming along just fine with that, but hopefully everything is a-okay. Regardless, we have a fun, interesting operation today. I'm trying to think. What do we want to do for a prediction? I'm thinking... Will Blue 4 be the winner today? And let's set that. We'll do 20 minutes. And we'll set that up. Excellent. All right, well, let me just make sure all these are working. Perfect. Yep, nope, we should be good. All right, now we're just waiting for everyone to get in here. This will be about, I believe, an 80-person PvP operation, split among 3 different groups. Actually, no, we're in the 90s. So let me write that in. 95 player. All right, cool. So now we can just relax. Ivno, Ezio, how are you two doing? Nightcalm, thank you for... Is that a host? Nice. Hope you're doing all right. Haven't seen you in a hot second. And I hope everything's going a-okay. But we got a nice PvP operation here today. A 3-faction fight between about 40 players on Blue 4, 40 players on Op 4, and about 15 to 20 players on Green 4, which is represented by the FAWR community. So there's 2 main objectives. There's a capture zone, which is just a zone that any side can go over and take over, and then there is a capture box somewhere in this green circle area that needs to be dragged back to any one of these 3 capture zones. So it's basically capture the flag. Blue 4 are coming in with 2 Merlin helicopters, which are these large transport birds. Op 4 get boats, and I believe Green 4 are going to spawn in sight. So... I don't know how that's going to work out, so we'll see how things go. The meme host debug Liru with your 4 viewers get wrecked. Okay, I mean, thank you. I don't know how else to say that, but otherwise I'm doing all right. Just been editing a few videos, working more on the DayZ server dev stuff. I got caught up in something last night, so I wasn't able to get back to my computer and stream it, so... Forge actually slept quite a bit last night, so don't worry about that. But no, we got someone from FAWR in here too. So just as a reminder too, I know there's at least 3 of you that are playing this op that are now in the stream. Make sure when the op officially begins, you get off of here and you know, enjoy the game without any metagaming, please. Otherwise, they're making a... Yep, nope, that's a quick note, just that the box cannot leave that zone. Otherwise, I believe it gets teleported back. But... I think Op 4's spawn zone is actually up here, and they're going to take the boats in that way, which is opposite. But I think the Indians are the Blue 4 force, so they're going to have to come... It's an interesting choice. They have to come all the way around here to get to their capture zone. Op 4 follow it down, and I believe Green 4 just spawn in their zone right there, so we'll see how all this goes.
Send in Goat Team 6 now.
But Q Quaneth, thanks so much for the tier 1 sub. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a nice little kick out of this PvP operation. So, the prediction, it's always hard to do a prediction with 3 factions because they only give us 2 options, so I generally pick a faction that has a decent chance of winning. And you can either vote for that faction or vote for the other 2 with the, you know, it's kind of,
now.
how do I put it? It's making a bet where the odds are against you. If you want to make a safe bet, bet Op 4 or Green 4. If you want to make a bet that's probably going to net you a lot more points because people are going to take that safe bet, go for Blue 4. But, you know, hypothetically, people should be betting on the safe bet compared to the non-so-safe bet. So, you know, feels like an actual gambling thing. But otherwise, let's see, Coinio, I hope I pronounced that right. Thanks so much for the Twitch Prime sub as well. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario as well. Now, Op4 and Blue4, again, they're evenly sided with about 40 players, around that number. And then Green 4 is just all FAWR today, so... I thought it'd be really funny if I made a bet saying if FAWR would win on Green 4, but no offense to FAWR, but you're fighting a lot of powerful players on this roster. We got people like Zicky on Blue 4, FAWR the entirety on Green 4. Granted, they are good players, mind you, but I'm going to break down the rest of the poll and show you the other names that we got going on here. We got Ezio and Roland on Blue 4, Massacre on Blue 4, Daedalus also on Blue 4. Those 4 alone, very good players. And the reason I say it this way is when you compare OFCRA, which we do on Thursdays, and Friday Night Fights, which we obviously do on Fridays, is FNF and OFCRA, the skill level of the players is, I would be honest, a little higher in OFCRA than FNF. No offense to FNF, but I've seen some crazy freaking things done in Friday Night Fights that I see every week done in OFCRA. People like Papega Pirates or T5 Bay, those players would literally be your average Joes in OFCRA because of the... How do I put this? FNF has a lot more on squad-level tactics and tactical deployment for 50-minute rounds in comparison to the hour-and-a-half-long rounds you see in OFCRA, where you will see those tactical deployments. But to see it on the scale of FNF, I think is a little more interesting because they have a lot less time to do it, and they're still able to carry out these crazy things. But the skill and quality of player within OFCRA is just insane at times. Things can get very messy very quickly, but both are their own systems. It's like saying they're, comparing apples and oranges. They're still both fruit. They're still both PvP events, but very different ballparks there. But I like to compare certain features within both. But back to the breakdown of the roster. Noteworthy people here. I mean, if I'm passing over names that are already noteworthy. Bluck on Op4, Brewer on Blue 4, excuse me. Fact of the House, Logic on Op4, Falcon on Op4. See, here's the thing, and this is, again, I bring it up. Falcon, very, very good player. But in OFCRA, he is an average Joe because everyone in here is a really, really good player. So, like, the Falcon bet is always a really good bet to make in FNF, but the Falcon bet in OFCRA, I mean, we've seen Falcon. He's like the equivalent of Logan in FNF. Most of the times he misses, but once in a while he does something amazing that counters even like the players within that scenario. Falcon is a very good player, mind you, but within OFCRA, anyone, if they get in Falcon's shoes, can execute the way Falcon does. So it's just a general thing, I'm going to skip all the way down. We got Ilbanek on Blue 4. I believe he's commanding Blue 4, and he's on the multi, by the way, if you want to watch Blue 4's POV. Let's see, Pierce on Op4, really good player there as well. NASA on Op4, Nubas on Op4, Olaf from AA. Okay, so AA sent a few people today, or it might just be Olaf, I don't know. I don't actually see any other AA players. Zixme also on Blue 4. Whoa, okay, so Zicky and Zixme are two of, if not the best two players in OFCRA, in my opinion. So usually you see one on Op4 and one on Blue 4. So to see them both on Blue 4, where's Bob Winchester? Is he playing as well today? I don't see him. He might have something in front of his name. Bob Winchester, also a very, very good player as well. But I don't see him on tonight. That's unfortunate. But yeah, so it looks like the Eden community is going to be on Op4. 19th IBC are going to be on Op4. FLG, MTF, going to be on Blue 4. Oh, there we go. So give it a second. That is everyone getting transferred over to T4. It looks like I accidentally left the sound on there.
Joined your channel. User left your
Usually I mute that so you don't hear that constantly, because as you can hear, people constantly leaving in and out of those channels. There we go. Can be quite annoying there, but otherwise we got an 8-minute warm-up round. Awesome. Or 8 minutes to warm up to get everyone in the server. All right, so as I predicted, Green 4 is going to spawn in their zone, the Tamal Tigers here. Here we are. Got, I think, some AI running around here. But I mean, this could really go either way. I just feel like Green 4 is going to be a little outperformed, but we'll see how it goes. I'm excited. So we've got PKMs, M76s, which are 7.62 by 54, 10-round AKs, basically like a weaker SVD, but they got a PSO scope on it as well. And then we've got FNFAL. So 7.62 based weaponry. They also seem to have some body armor, some 6B23s, I believe. We got some RPGs, and then some of the I think the Serbian AK and knockoff there. And they're cable tying some of these other units there. So it's a good mix of weaponry there. Basically 7.62 by 39 and 54 between those guns. PKM is by 54 as well. And then some FNFALs, but they basically have to defend this one zone. I actually don't know where the supply box starts that they're trying to capture between all of the zones. I believe it is written somewhere in the mission statement. It might be that, but what on earth are they on here? Scandi Recon is not in this today. Anyway, let me catch up with chat real quick. Conio, I did see what you said there. Another evening well spent. I appreciate that, man. Hope you keep enjoying everything. Seriously. The next doc for the checkpoint RP, I've had to push that back due to some IRL things that came up to take my weekends. The next available weekend I get, I will put that down. I'm trying to finish up the DayZ prep work, which will probably take me into tonight and tomorrow night, and then I can rework on... actually, no, I also have MCO documentation I want to get out by Friday, because it's going to be a Korean War thing. I already actually have that started. That'll also be finished by Friday, and then I'll work on Checkpoint RP again. It's a mess. And then I need to find some time tonight to edit the videos that come out that are made today, so I can then put those on the front log and keep the main channel front logged as well. So busy. The only thing that's really been taking my time IRL is something I can't talk about because Bloodwing might be listening. We're throwing her a surprise birthday party. And the DayZ server. Anyway, start's going to be in 5 minutes. Let's quickly go and look over at OFCRA here. OFCRA, they get a bunch of RHIBs for transport. They are the armed version, so they do have 50 cals in front. You can get an unarmed version, so that's interesting to see OFCRA get these. It looks like they are equipped with... Is that a PSG-9? That might be a PSG-9. Or PSG-1. I forget what the exact term is, but otherwise, it's a marksman rifle. We got some... Okay, so we have a mix of AKs and M16s with 20-round magazines. And that is a drum mag G3, I think? Or it might be a different weapon. But that's either a 50 or 75-round drum here, which should be interesting. They also seem to have RPGs. So we see some 30-round polar mags there with ACOG sights. That's interesting. That's a really interesting mix of weaponry overall. So I am seeing 30 and 20-round mags, AKs with 30-round mags as well. I think that drum mag is meant to be their auto rifleman, because I'm not seeing any other dedicated ARs in the group. Well, no, AR, that's a misterm. That's AR means assault rifle. No, I'm looking for oh great, now they're playing music. I don't see any machine guns. I think they're just going to be using ARs with drum mags for their squad automatic weapons. But I'm seeing a lot of magnified optics in terms of those ACOGs. I think those are just for leadership, actually, which makes sense because I only see a handful around, and they seem to be on the guys with the caps on. And then Blue 4, we have 2 Vanilla Merlins, which are the AAF transport birds. Looks like they have the best camo out of everyone. They got full-on Mazes here. We got Mark 11s. And some more modernized AKs with some SVDs. And some, oh gosh, are those mini-me's? It's some sort of 5.56 200-round box machine gun, definitely. But yeah, no, those are AK 7.4s with 5.45s, but they have the NPZ rails because that is a, that's a Hammer scope on it, which is basically an ACOG. Yeah, so these guys are given the best gear, but they have to fly in. OPFOR given, I'd say in some ways their gear is superior to Green 4, some ways their gear is inferior, but they got 50 cals on their boats. It's an interesting mix. I'm going to be honest, this is also one of those types of ops where there are way too many variables in here for me to go over who's going to be the winning side. I'm just going to quickly break down the roster here. So you got Despo. Let's go back to Blue 4 real quick. I'm going to shout out all the names. Hopefully that'll make you help you make an informed decision on your prediction bet tonight. Oh, we got Despo on Blue 1 commanding for that group. He's got Solmek, Tymek, Pingus, Skipu, and Saik, the guys you also see all the time in Friday Night Fights as well. That is a mini-me. Ziki is going to be leading Blue 2 with his group, Massacre, Andre, Seal, William, Brewer, Joda, and Koksa, which I believe are Czechoslovakian group, or excuse me, Czech Republic group. I'm sorry I keep making that mistake. Pogo is leading his group with Barros, Benares, Nortz, Ezio, and Roland. PHK leading his group with Manchote, Head Honcher for OFCRA, Mr. White, Rizbo, Tackle, and Rick Hunter. Flip for Flap leading with Daedalus, Zixmi, Funch, Kahau, and Murdy. Ilbanek commanding, and then Jonathan flying the first hilly, and Urziato flying the second hilly. So that's a really, really powerful roster. I mean, just pointing out really powerful names. Massacre, Ziki, Seal William, Brewer, Pogo, Nortz, Ezio, Roland, PHK, Manchote, Rizbo. I mean, honestly, everyone I'm seeing here is actually a very good player. Flip for Flap, Zixmi, Murdy, Ilbin. I mean, all these guys alone, I've seen, like, get behind a squad and, like, eliminate the entire squad. They're all very, very good and aggressive players, so it's hard to state, you know, who's going to be on top there. But let's see, OPFOR being commanded by Rixu, who I haven't seen command before. Neither have I seen Adi command, so that's interesting. But under their group, they got Mercs commanding for Zeno, Liquafor, Punisher, Wales, Walzines, I can't pronounce, I'm sorry. ZXC, Mordaru, I think it's Mordaru. And Howl. We've got Montana commanding Diablo, Primo, Adamek, Settler, G, Gromit, Damix, and Duxai. Kilo commanding... Why did someone already die? Why did someone just say, damn? I heard you. No, it might have been... Okay, it might have been someone connecting last second or a glitch, but whenever people die or they join spectator, we can hear them instantaneously on the server. That's why I have to mute myself once the action starts. Otherwise, Principal Smith, Cheeseburger, Tully, Olaf, Doyle, and Shy. NASA commanding Swola, Eldberg, Shrimp 2, Sky Online, Fury Gamer, Mr. Dave, Bluck commanding Fractal House, Logic, Parthius, some Nora guy, Fides, Falcon, and Shay. Shay's back on the coast. Rigel commanding Ivno, 1RW, Fonz, Demovar, Pierce, and Nubas. And then you got the entirety of FAWR on Green 4. Now, noteworthy players on OPFOR. Pierce is all right. Nubas, all right as well. Fonz, Falcon, of course. Back to the house, Logic, Parthius, Block, Mr. Dave, Swola, NASA. Shrimp 2 has actually pulled some really good maneuvers, but I think that was on FNF. Cheeseburger's pretty good. Adamek is pretty good. I've seen G. Gromit pull some stuff as well. But I'm also noticing OPFOR has a few newer names I haven't really seen in OFCRA. And again, these are just people that I've noticed like do some really crazy stuff within the OFCRA framework. So again, both sides, it's really hard for me to say who's going to win. Now, one thing I am noticing right off the bat is it looks like OPFOR is going to come into this AO first and potentially skirmish up with Green 4 and weaken them. Thus buying time for Blue 4 to kind of wait it out and let both of these sides kill each other and then sweep in and take everything. So if you're making a last-minute bet because you are smart and you waited till the thing ended, I might actually be leaning on Blue 4 here because OPFOR seems to be the first group that's going to start their engagement with the Green 4 faction. So anything could happen. And I believe FAWR is a French team. Now, I'm actually going to be playing this in a bit of a reduced render distance, because Pre-Kimochi-lan is, or Pre-Kimosh, I don't know how to, I'm horrible with my pronunciation, is a very framey map, so I like to keep my render distance on the lower end if I can. Plus, it's only infantry for this scenario, so we only really need to focus on the infantry engagements. There's no vehicles doing any long-range stuff. You hope Zicky dies soon, but you love cheeseburger. Righto, Stealth. The wind is really loud. I know. This map has a similar issue to Tanoa. I don't know why, maybe because they share the same framework, but if you put your camera slightly in the air, you just instantly get the damn wind in your ear. So there's nothing I can do about that. That's just a game limitation. And because wind effect volume is the same, it's classified as effect volume, I can't lower the sound of it without lowering the sound of everything else. So we're just kind of screwed at that point, which is unfortunate. But DJ, thanks for dropping by. And Demon, thank you for dropping by as well with your first chat. Same with you, Stealth. But it looks like Blue 4 is separating into 2 helicopters, and they left a small chunk of infantry at base, probably because they're going to go back and pick them up. And they're doing a paradrop. Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Pancake! You freaking screamer! Oh! Oh, so once again, when they die, they hear them in the spectator channel. And I believe we just heard Solmic there scream. Are you okay, buddy?
No.
No? Why aren't you okay?
I died.
I can see that. Yeah, you hit someone's parachute and went unconscious and
Oh.
turned into a pancake, sir.
Oh.
How does it feel to not be alive anymore? Was this what you expected today?
To survive a little longer.
I see. Well, the ground said no, unfortunately. Oh my god. Alright, well, good luck with the rest of your day. I'm gonna go ahead and mute myself, alright?
Okay, sure.
Have fun.
Bye.
Okay. that little oh. I mentioned him earlier. I'm like, oh, he's not playing today, and now he's here. All right, again, Bob Winchester, I would say one of the best players within the OFCRA framework, but oh gosh, and Tackle loses connection too. I think no, he was in a different group. My bad. Oh man. Yeah, one life PvP can be a bitch, but what's that is exactly right. That is why you need to number people off when you do the jump. That way no one clips into each other and gets knocked unconscious like that. Because if you all immediately jump out of the helicopter or plane like that, it can get a little messy. Unfortunately got kicked off. I don't think he might be able to take a late join slot, but we'd have to see. Regardless, OP4 looks like they're trying to set up. They're going to be looking for the box to secure. Again, I actually don't know what that box is, so I guess we'll try to keep track of it later. I'd imagine Green 4 started with it. But we also have Blue 4's box secure zone, which just a really small compound. Or that's Blue 4's, excuse me. Green 4's is a massive compound, but it looks like they're abandoning it to instead try to hug the outskirts and play from the high ground where they can easily pull away, and that's probably the smartest call they can make here at this point. I don't know, if I was Green 4, I'm going to be perfectly honest, I would pull out of the fight. I would let the other two major powers engage each other, and I would just try to watch from afar, maybe in a position where I could do some decent overwatch or some marksmanship, but I would outright avoid direct confrontation from now. What you want to do as the small guerrilla force is be very, very picky with your targets. so that if you catch an isolated group in the open and you can defeat them in detail easily with minimal casualties to yourself, do it. But if you can start skewing the fight one way so that one faction gets slightly more powerful so they feel like they have the ability to take out the other faction completely but, you know, hurt themselves in the process for attrition, then you can sweep in and take everything over. But the stakes are very, very high on whether or not Green 4 can actually win this. But we're just going to have to see how aggressive Green 4 is. I do like how they're sending one group over to Op 4's control point. Green 4 sending another group to Blue 4's control point. But Blue 4, they've deployed in 3 separate areas. They might try to go for the capture zone first. Just to hold it. But playing defense early on is always a mistake in my opinion, because you can always go back and take the zone closer towards the end of the map and instead commit all of your manpower to the immediate objectives at hand. Just curious to see what Op 4 decides to do with their boats. They could easily lock down control of the river, which I think is going to be absolutely critical for maneuvering forces up and down this path, or at least redeploying them. Why are there so few people on Green 4? It's because Green 4 is meant to be like a third faction of local fighters that don't want either force in their country. Plus, I do like the idea of having a third force in certain PvP engagements, because it creates a certain level of uncertainty. Whereas sometimes, you know, it would just be, without Green 4, it would just be Op 4 go in, Blue 4 go in, and then they go at it. But now there's this Green 4 element that's not neutral, but it's hostile to both sides. And if you're not careful, it could honestly stem the tide in one favor or the other. But yes, you could also consider them Op 4 aggressors. Well, in this case, Green 4 aggressors. They're just there to basically be little wild cards that could completely screw over any commander's plan. As someone that likes to commentate on PvP, it definitely makes things more interesting than your standard, you know, 2 factions duke it out. Sometimes in FNF especially, you'll see ops where it'll be Green 4 plus Blue 4 versus Op 4. Green 4 serves as a faction working with one of the other 2 factions as just an extra force, which is fun. But having them as a third PvP wildcard force, that's when I can safely tell you I have no idea what the heck is going to happen. Now, I do like what Blue 4 has done. They've divided into 3 groups to kind of come on the edge and recon everything, but at the same time, I feel like this is a slight bit of a mistake. But I'm going to correct what I just said, because they still have both of their helicopter islets. They're flying out and about. What Blue 4 need to plan to do is scout out what they can, figure out where the best place would be to mount a full-on offensive, and then regroup all of their forces by getting these groups in one helicopter. Let's say if they wanted to go south, this group in the other helicopter, redeploy them to where this squad is, and then push with all of their forces together, just to be able to completely outperform and overwhelm any opponent that they fight. Op 4, meanwhile, they're setting up in their landing box zone. They're hunkering down here because they've got a really nice fortification here to work with, and they're sending other forces in the AO to try to figure out where their opponents are. It's pretty smart if you ask me. I'm going to tab out real quick. I just want to see a few pictures here. So they're looking for something called an arms supply box. And I'm just trying to figure out where the box has spawned. Ooh. Sound like a gunshot. That might have just been an audio glitch of me tabbing in or out. It's basically a vehicle supply box, which is this big, big crate. And I just don't know where it is at the moment. So it also looked like this is a 90-minute match with, I think it said an 8-minute safe warm-up time. So they have 70 of those 90 minutes to capture the box, which is all the more reason why Blue Force shouldn't put forces down in the capture zone so early on. Because after the supply box is taken care of, there will still be 20 minutes to then go fight over the capture zone. And Blue Force in the best position to redeploy their forces to the capture zone because they have the helicopters. Speaking of, looks like a 4th force is deploying via helicopter. They just jumped out again. I think they're going to come in on foot and go over to their secure box zone. You got Joda gliding over towards it, but he's going to be alone, and Green 4 might have spotted this maneuver. Scordoni slides off that hill a little bit, but if they're looking in that direction, Green 4 might be able to see those forces falling and might be in a position to move in and start some early harassment with a Blue 4 group that's pretty heavily separated. He's scared to PvP? Nah. I just haven't really had a lot of good experiences with PvP, so I just don't really like to touch it anymore.
I love your work. Greetings from Istanbul.
Hey, righto. Well, how do I pronounce that? Y Horseman? Wa Horseman? No, be with an A, so Y Horseman. Let me know if I said that right. But thanks so much for the resub, my man. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. I do hope you get a nice little kick out of this PvP scenario. I don't know. I mean, one of my first major Arma 3 PvP experiences was CC06 with Coalition as a last-minute ground commander, and that was a 6-hour hell. Yes, Boo? I am working right now. No, just put it in the fridge. No, I'm stuffed. I'm working, Boo. I can't eat while I work. No, Boo, I need to... Can I please work? Thank you, Boo. I love you. I appreciate it. That was Bloodwing. Oh, Sulk, is that you? Yeah, now he's coming to chat here. I'm sorry that you became a pancake, good sir. But yeah, I mean, you can go look up that video. I think I have it on the VODS channel. I never moved anything to the main channel, but that was a 6 hours I wish I spent somewhere else, to be honest. Granted, it was a nice little experience of, okay, you know, in a super stressful situation, I can still bounce things back and almost win. I mean, had it not been for a technicality, we would have actually won the event, but it's just not my cup of tea, not my level of stress, you know? Just not for me. But yeah, I don't mind watching it, because I find it interesting. So meanwhile, you got the boats here trying to use their 50 cals to fire long-range shots at the helicopters, which are literally like a click and a half away. So I think that is a little bold for them to try that. But at that range, I don't think they realize just how far it is, but the amount you actually have to lead for something like that, which they actually just hit it in the tail there. That's immediately making Blue 4 adjust here, going into a bit of a dive. Interesting. Worth it for the content, good God. Right now, we just seem to have a lot of isolated groups here. OFCRA, in my opinion, seems to be the most well-deployed here. They're checking out the other secure zones. While Green 4 is also pretty well deployed for what they are, because they're just trying to stay alive at this point, but Blue 4 just seems super separated with no control over their specific secure zone. And you got Op 4 with the larger force than the Blue 4 force. And Blue 4's also landed their helicopter. I don't know if they're going to redeploy the forces down here, but... Oh, God. You okay? Yes, what's that? Exactly that. But again, I'm not going to get into details. I can't tell if his tail rotor's out, because it doesn't look like it's out. He did get 150 cal shot in the tail. I think he's just messing around. Which is pretty funny. But Runner, thanks for the 10 bits. Devour, thanks for the 5 bits. Hearing some more 50 cal shots. I'm assuming that's at the helicopters. You know, the way that he's controlling that, I think he actually might have some tail rotor damage, which is negating some of his control. Because he's about to fly right over these 50 cals. But they're too busy firing at the other one to notice there's another one. Wait a minute. Okay, yes, but can you shoot again? Just I think we caught him on camera and he decided to do it properly, but Righto, Runner. Long time no see as well, but I don't know to, I've seen that glitch a few times. I'm assuming it's a glitch. To aim, like it looks like he's aiming one way, but he's firing at the other. I don't know, but I think that's just a little bit of desync, to be perfectly honest. I don't even have an in-game explanation of how that bug even is working, but you know. I don't know. That's the point. I'm also confused. Wasn't sealing the chopper beforehand? Why didn't he, when it was landed, get out? I guess he was AFK, perhaps. OSHA would be pissed. Yeah, right? So, Locke, if you're still here, do you know where the capture box is? Because that is what I'm struggling to find here. Either because I didn't read the thing correctly or what, but I know that's what they're trying to fight for control over here. Oh god, and you're shooting your own dudes. So, guys, this is why you don't run off on your own as a lone wolf. Because otherwise, people are gonna misinterpret you and shoot you dead. So, we've had one pancake today. And one red on red. And now I'm really excited to see what else we get. Remembered I haven't been writing these timestamps down. I need to fix that. But it looks like Blue 4 helis are just going to fly overhead and just distract the 50 cal shots. Shots are landing really close. but not close enough. He was a traitor. Yeah, let's go with that. Green 4 might actually have an opportunity to do some minor harassment of Op 4 forces. They are looking in the direction that Op 4 was coming up on. It would be a 4v7. Odds are in Green 4's favor. Another 3 could factor in. Looks like these guys have come up and found that it was a dead friendly. They took his stuff off. That's funny. I'm going to put my render distance down another chunk because it is a little framey there. All right. Otherwise, I mean, if these forces keep killing each other, Green 4 might actually have a decent chance. But I'll see what these guys decide to do in their maneuver. I don't know, Op 4 have a really good defensive, and they also have a really good offense with another squad going up to the capture zone, but beyond that, if Op 4 just plays it super defensive and allows Blue 4 to run around with a bunch of small groups, it's really hard to see how this operation is going to go, which I kind of like. Means more stuff is going to just be a random surprise where anything is honestly possible. So Nubass has also died. Are there any dead Blue 4? And Andre died all the way over here. So Andre died in the water. Maybe he was sniped off. He's got a parachute on his back. So I think he's also a pancake, because why would he have the parachute on his back? And then did Nubass drown? He's dead in the water. I don't know who would have shot him. I don't see any blood or anything over here indicating that anyone was hit in a firefight. So we've had 2 pancakes, a drowning, and a friendly fire. And I'm not sure if anyone's really seen other side's contact other than the helicopters. No one's really been in a direct firefight yet. This is great. The jungle is a fickle bitch, ain't it? So I'm looking for the flashing of units. Is that down here? It's down here. So Op 4 spotted Blue 4 down the road. Started opening up on them. Blue 4 immediately pulling away. Might try to rendezvous and then move around because they were a little separated there. The terrain is certainly winning on kills, exactly. Looks like Green 4 is deciding to hold fast on that position. Blue 4 going to start moving into the Green 4 zone. Oh, Shy, yeah, we saw. That was beautiful. Shy, do you know where the capture box is that's in the green circle? Because I do not. I'm still looking for it. But yeah, so far there have been 2 pancakes, a friendly fire, and a drowning. It's been wonderful. So I'm gonna check around in Green 4's base again for this silver box. And again, I don't see it. Maybe after this I'll stream a little bit of the DayZ dev that I'm working on. It's very, very premature. I've been mainly focusing on lore documentation, but I've been starting to wrap my head around the DayZ editor. But even so, Green 4 still holding that one position. Blue 4 looks like they're pulling out of that position. They were a little closer up to the north. So they're going to pull back. Op 4 is the one pushing to the south here. Op 4 now getting boots on the ground on Blue 4's box turn-in position, which really makes me think if Blue 4 is actually going to try this position, or if they're just going to harass everyone else inside and then pull over to the capture zone. Because that is a valid strategy. Make sure no one captures the box, and then in the last 20 minutes fold into the capture zone and hold that to gain the only points on the map. That's smart. Oh, Solomon, you hit the tail rotor of the helicopter, and that's why you got knocked out. I think maybe you got out, because I noticed like a group of people got out at once. Maybe that moved your body above everyone else's, and then made you hit the tail for you to go unconscious. That would be my guess. Oh, God. Yeah, Runner. I'd imagine if you're new to a unit and you screw up like that, yeah, you'd probably get a nickname like Pancake for a while. I love how that guy's backpack has some cable ties behind it. As if we're going to see OPFOR make any cable tie plays today. Alright, so it looks like that 4-man team is now folding back in the base. I'm not sure if Green Forver saw those guys there. They do have 3 guys in the open over here. That would be a little bit of a safer opportunity there, but it's a tough call. I think Blue 4 is just kind of running around doing scouting teams at this point. We do have Ilbanek up here, kind of folded in the forest, overwatching this open little gap here, I guess, to see if there's any movement. But for now, I feel like everything's just a little bit of a stalemate. Which is fine, it just means the action's probably going to be reserved to late game again. But I fear that, like last week, we're going to see a scenario where all sides are just going to run out of time, and whoever happened to waltz in and hit the objective area first and keep their units there is going to win by pretty much a forfeit. Gonna look back over at this Green 4 group here. They got 3 OPFOR guys kind of in the open areas looking around, but for now these guys are just chilling and staying put. Maybe they're waiting for a firefight to break out so they can then move closer and potentially harass both sides, but it's a tough call. I'd say OPFOR is the one being the most aggressive right now, but also the most defensive, if that makes any sense, because they're holding their capture zone with half their force, and they're using the other half to go attack the other major power's force. Meanwhile, Blue 4 is just in a lot of separate groups kind of maneuvering around doing recon and harassing with their helicopters flying around to drain the 50 cal ammunition of the boats, and then Green 4 is just trying to attrition play this and wait for all sides to kind of run low on manpower themselves. This Green 4 group's way out of here. Looks like they crossed the river and they want to stay on this side and then move in closer to the zone over here. But all they're going to find is, I guess, the OPFOR group, because Blue 4 is now slowly pulling north out of this zone. And that's interesting, because that Green 4 group was previously over here set up on Overwatch. They left their trench here. And if Blue 4 comes up here, I know Ziki would be smart enough to realize that was previously held by enemy forces, and they've now left. Which, again, I don't think that Blue 4 group's going to run into them, because they're taking such a wide berth on their maneuver. Now it looks like Blue 4 is taking up this hill position here, which has pretty good overwatch on the position down there. And they're exactly starting to scout this out. Now, I think you're hearing the 50 cals being brought out to make some more runs on the hill. Was that a marksman shot going up to? Yes! No, the 50 cals are being brought up to fire at the hill. Oh, just whizzed by that dude's face. Yeah, so look, that's why you got armored by, you got pushed up probably by the other 3 that jumped out at the same time into the tail, and that knocked you out and then made you pancake. Blue 4 might have been able to bait Op 4 into a nice ambush position here. They did watch Op 4 cross over. If Blue 4 then pushes, they might be able to catch Op 4 down here in a building and be able to pick them off. Op 4, meanwhile, looks like they're content with holding Blue 4's position here, but Blue 4 doesn't really show any interest in holding. I think Blue 4 is still moving forces around, trying to look for this box and then move back to their base. Op 4 can then hunker down and hold it. They can also pull all their forces out from their base to then go in and also reinforce wherever the box is and then pull it back to theirs. Blue 4 skirting the edge of the border here. I think they moved past where Green 4 had previously set up on Overwatch. Not sure if they spotted the little trench Green 4 dug. I think that was a little more further to the left. Player Pancake connected. Isn't that ironic? That might have been Solmic just reconnecting with a new name because he said he was going to call himself Pancake now. Maybe the box was stolen by jungle gnomes. You know, maybe that's what Green 4 is. Woo! Dude, you are playing chicken, and they are actually hitting really close to your face. So I'd be careful, buddy. I'd be careful. Dude, they have you zeroed in. Like, they're trying. You are literally playing chicken. Now, if you wanted to be abusive, what you could do is you could stand, expose your head, but also expose that tube. And the tube's hitbox will absorb all incoming damage, thus protecting your head if you put it at the right angle. Jeez, runner. Hope you're okay. So I believe this group is just here to harass to see if Op 4 will send anything up to deal with them, but Op 4 is content with holding that defensive position and utilizing these units to,
Let's give him a warm welcome.
I guess, harass this one position. You got Blue 4 command up here, Ilbanek. On the ridge, his camo with the grass is actually going to blend him in quite well. And I think he just saw Op 4 maneuvering around that position because he just immediately backed up a little bit. Meanwhile, Green 4 might actually walk up on his position and take him out. Blue 4 command getting severed early on would actually be quite interesting. Yeah, go for it, Solik. I think it gives you a slightly better inner... No, actually, I know it does. The Ace Spectator interface is slightly better than the vanilla Spectator interface. Blue 4 flying overhead again. And the 50s start firing. It's another hit. He's diving. This other Blue 4 position. Blue 4, meanwhile, they've stayed on this little side of the hill here. I guess watching Op 4 down in that position. Op 4 seems to want to stay at this position. They're building a trench. They got Shay looking around with binos. But I think their intended purpose is overwatching over here. So it's just a very slow round. Overall, 1/3 of the time has gone by. We're actually at mid-game right now, and even then, it's a very slow round. Blue 4, meanwhile, in the middle of Green 4's base, not doing much here in the 50s, firing more at the helicopter. Falcon Ass has the view from above. Slow. It's very slow. What are you doing? Huh. I mean, I believe Falcon's an OPFOR, right? So he would be... He's on the assault team. Yeah. Meanwhile, it looks like this team has regrouped, and now it's pushing into the tree line. I think this OPFOR base is sending a force to go flank that blue 4 position. I think they should have sent a little more than one single force there, but it also shows how defensive they're trying to be at their defensive position in the zone. Which leads me to believe that they have control of the box, and it's somewhere in their capture zone, which would actually be up here. Because otherwise, it kind of confuses me why they would put so much effort in defending this area. Maybe because they think Blue 4 already scouted out, so if now Blue 4 sees less forces... What? Who died? I see. So they're actually starting to eat each other. Meanwhile, it looks like Green 4 just ran into contact. Kytrack just got knocked out by Olaf. Olaf now putting GLs up into that position. You can see the body of the guy Olaf just shot up. Putting more shots up there as well. Zicky is still alive. Got some crossfire going off over here. I think that was on Tully. Just scrolling in my roster there. Zicky would be somewhere up here. He's blue too. He's over there still alive. Another Grenadier round goes in. We got some 9-baners going. Hey, Moshpit, thanks for the raid. Smoke put up. Scrolling back down to the bottom of the roster. Ramen was unconscious. He's now back up. And now OPFOR is pulling back after that smoked. We might see them try to push up the left flank to flank that Green 4 position. I'm doing all right, man. Hope you are doing fine as well. Yeah, so Blue 4 Command is running around here. I'm not sure if he noticed Green 4's other squad came in. He got the 50 cals now firing at the heli again. Heli notably flying a little slower. And now diving. Can't tell if those two are the other helicopter crew. Nope, the other helicopter's still in the air as well. Had a Maz round come in, and one of the boats gets sniped. That Maz probably came from up this hill. They did have a Maz gunner. Actually, you can tell vehicle kills because they're still counted in the point system. Yep, Zixme. He got hit a few times. That might have been by his own backblast, but he was able to snipe one of those boats with his Maz. Meanwhile, Green 4 still chilling right here. They're medic patching everyone up. They had one KIA. One guy went unconscious. That was Romaine. I think he's checking his buddy. So a small skirmish for no real gain other than that one death. And now you've got OPFOR pushing Green 4's position with Blue 4 ground command. Standing up and chilling over here, not realizing that he might be walked up on in a bit. Oh, but it has Bluck and Fact of the House leading the charge here. Two really good players that know how to pay attention. And now he's immediately turning it away. You also have Falcon pulling back to base. I think he just ordered everyone to pull back, potentially. For what reason, I do not know. Meanwhile, Blue 4's moved down a little bit more. They see all these forces crossing the river. I can't tell if I just heard a gunshot over here. I think Ilbanek would be looking around if he heard said gunshot. Otherwise, that Green 4 group still holding. Oh, there we go. Ilvanek playing one-man warrior here, trying to fire off on some of the OPFOR guys down here. That's going to bait OPFOR to come around. Green 4 might also come in to investigate. He might actually bait an engagement between the other two forces in this region, which is... I don't think he knows that that might be a result of what he's doing, but that'd be really funny if that's what ended up happening. So Blue 4 all over Green 4's zone. I guess still looking for that box. Blue 4 now coming over to the riverbank up here. I would not recommend they follow and cross, because that would make them targets for these guys. So Shay looking around with binos, trying to check to make sure he's not hit. Not sure. They might start seeing... Elberg might start seeing Blue 4 force. He just went scoped. Yep, he sees that movement over there. He's going to start yelling. Shay immediately gets to cover. Now this Op 4 force saw that Blue 4 force coming in. Puts a shot over their heads. Blue 4 can now get down, though, because they're in a rice paddy to stay concealed. Hell, in cover through the little defilade berm they have right there. Ooh. I just saw a symbol disappear. I don't see any deaths, though. Could have sworn I just saw someone disappear. All right, some suppression on Barros' position. Ooh, and Green 4 is now attacking Op 4's position here. Both sides want to check out those gunshots, and Ilvanek has baited, as I said, he baited a firefight between these two factions. Gordy getting taken out by Parthius. Cirrus now alone up here, but that Green 4 force now firing on the flank of this Op 4 force coming around. Some Nor guy took some shots there. Now you got back to the house trying to take some people out, but he gets taken out by Archangel. That M76, 762 by 54, that's a very large round. Very deadly. Cyrus is the medic here. He might be able to get his guys back up, but he is medicing in the middle of a firefight. Maybe he'll get away with it because those other Green 4 guys, but now you have Ilbanek behind the Green 4 line over here, still looking around, might try to find an angle to engage more guys, but if he's smart, he needs to let the Green 4 guys live in this situation to then engage Op 4 to give Green 4, let them keep their manpower, but also put more pressure on Op 4 to pull more units into this firefight. And this is the power of having a third faction. Even though I'd expect Green 4 to do a maneuver like that, anything's welcome. Meanwhile, Green 4 have moved their forces up here. They've taken even more casualties. They're down to 4 guys, and they're trying to look in this open field where Op 4 might be, but now Op 4 is the force dealing with Green 4, so that might allow for Blue 4 to keep their numbers high to then come back in the fight and do even more damage later. Fide coming down, looks like Cyrus was able to get Baku up. They still have Evan up, down right here. Still could be savable, but Op 4 is all around him at this point. Oh, I think Fide has just realized, and yeah, that was an execution. Oh, well. Grenade gets thrown in a perfect spot. That's going to be right next to Parthius. Knocks him out. Other guy taken out. These guys pull back. Baku might still be crippled here, as you now have Shrimp coming to do a wide flank. Shrimp might end this. Gets Cyrus. Baku panic firing, and Shrimp gets the second kill. I mentioned Shrimp earlier. He's really good at doing those flank and elimination attacks. And since Green 4 was completely in the open there, he was unfortunately taken out. Archangel, meanwhile, knocked unconscious as the marksman. It is just up to Oliver to do this, but I think at this point, this Green 4 group is screwed. Got the marksman double tapping bodies to make sure no one stays alive. That's smart. And Op 4 and Blue 4, meanwhile, fighting back and forth in this river. GL's being heavily overranged here. Smoke rounds. So I don't know what that's about. But I think Green 4 is, oh my god. That Red 4 garrison had enough. They're sending this massive force here to sweep the rest of the Green 4 forces on their side. I think Shrimp was tired of frying rice, and now he does Arma 3 PvP for a living. It makes sense when you think about it. OFCRA sweeping the area, however, they're not going far up to the left enough. But Green 4 does not have anyone covering their their flank or rear security. But Gromit, I mean, none of the OFCRA guys are watching their left. And now you have Ethan looking over. There's a gunshot over here. Did OFCRA hear that? Yep, now OFCRA is going to start homing in on where that gunshot originated. I think someone just shot at Damex, yep. Small friendly fire issue there, but Green 4 doesn't really realize that they're being engaged from the rear here. They're firing over and suppressing Olaf. Oh, they're about to get walked up on and eliminated. Oh, man. No one is pulling rear security. No one questioned the gunshots that were behind them. They all just assumed it was okay, and now they're going to pay the price. Oh, gosh. Roaming going down. Ethan quickly gets to a tree. Someone who's unmarked, I think that's someone who disconnected. He now can no longer come back on the server. Oh, it is a massacre here because no one thought to question it. Nanard taking a GL directly, trying to pull away, but gets fire from his original engagement vector. Ah, Green 4 is so screwed. Nanard now trying to go prone, at least take a few out before he goes down, popping some grenades, being suppressed overhead by Diablo. And Nanard taken out and eliminated by Montana. You still have Skeeber over here, but look at all that blood. I don't think he's getting up anytime soon. Hold on, but you have Villarum back here in a bush. What is he doing? He's cable tied. How did you... When did OFCRA capture him? What? But... okay, so maybe he disconnected and Green 4 cable tied him and put him in a bush to go pick him up later, but now no one's going to be able to go over there to free him. So now he's just over here. Okay. Maybe if he shouts loud enough, OPFOR will find him and offer him a 2 weeks paid vacation. Meanwhile, looking down to the south, the other OPFOR group has been fully eliminated. Now it's going to be Blue 4 versus OPFOR. Now, OPFOR didn't really lose a lot of guys in those engagements, so looking at their roster here, they've had a few casualties. They lost Fact, they lost Fighties, they lost Sky Online. Gromit was also taken out. And Blue 4 still has a full page here. Zixme is unconscious. I don't know what caused that. Maybe he forgot to bandage. Is he? Yeah, no, he forgot to bandage something, or he fell. And now he's bleeding out, and he's no battle buddy over here to go check on him. So Zixme might accidentally kill himself. I guess the jungle taking its 5th victim. But I want to see if Velarum is rescued by OPFOR. Smith is looking up in his direction. Cheeseburger also looking. I mean, that's where a body is, so I think that's why they're concerned. But Cheeseburger, look left. Olaf coming over. Let's see if Olaf notices the strange tree in the bush. Hello, sir. How are you? How did you get in this predicament? Now he's calling his friends over. You can see their mouths moving. They, oh my god, they are. Hold up, hold up.
Imagine.
Oh yes.
Allez. Zigzme.
T'imagines là la Clémora saute pendant que à cause du crack.
I saw the mine, but
Olaf freaking shot him. Oh my god. Alright, well there was the last green 4 guy. By the way, apparently Zixme stepped on a mine and died. So apparently there was a mine right here that got him and he's now dead. Oh dear. I don't think that's how bodies are supposed to bend. His arm is... this takes blown away to a whole new meaning. So Zixme died to, I guess, a random mine. I'm trying to see if there's any other mines planted around here. Looks like it's just debris, so who knows, but... That's funny. Yeah, blew his groin off, literally. Them M14 toe poppers seem to slap a little harder than they used to. Now we're just going to have a really... I'm going to be honest, I think the rest of this round is going to be a touch slow. Just because Blue 4 seems content on just kind of walking around where Op 4 isn't, and Op 4 just wants to hold the 2 zones in question. I mean, in another 6 minutes, we're going to move to late game. Bouncing Betty's hit like an XGF and kicking zone. Oh, God. That hurts. That just hurts, Neko. Hold up. Hold up. Blue 4 has the flag. The box. Okay, so this group is moving back with Blue 4 here. What we need to see is Blue 4 get picked up in the other areas and brought to help bring this box in. Op 4, meanwhile, holding Blue 4's capture zone. So what we could see is once that box is secured, Blue 4 might send their forces out, send a group to the capture zone, send the rest of them out by leaving a small defense over at their secure zone to then take the box once they identify that the box is right there. But at this rate, Blue 4 only has, because it's 70 minutes to bring that box in, so 78 minutes would be an hour and 18 minutes. So they only have 15 minutes to get that box in their zone, which, with an Op 4 garrison in the way, I don't think is going to be possible. So Op 4... by, honestly, the 65-minute mark, should be moving their forces into the capture zone. Let me tab out real quick, just to confirm. The objective, yes, at 70 minutes. So, that's it. That's it. So, it might just be a 3-way tie at this rate. Because then you just have the supremacy bonus in the remaining time, and there's just too many forces on the ground. It just might be a stalemate where no one wins because no one really played the objective. What's in the box? Amazing, wonderful things are inside the box. So I guess the box itself was in the capture zone up here. I thought this was the second objective. I think this is where the thing actually spawned. So, but then again, it has to be in the green zone, so I don't know. I don't know where it was. Either way, they're just slowly... They're stuck on a walking animation with it, which kind of sucks. To move it all the way back, but... I don't know. You guys can take a crack at what might be in the box. I'm going to say... like Aquila, it's probably bananas. Do boxes protect you from bullets? You know, that's a really good question. I guess we'll have to find out later. Whew. I really don't know what else is going to happen this round. I mean, it looks like Op 4, they're going to send forces up to try to take this hill because Blue 4 was on it previously. Blue 4, meanwhile, have pulled back to this position. I guess they're being a blocking force, expecting Op 4 to go up on that hill and then catch them there. But Op 4 doesn't really have any good ways to maneuver down to Blue 4's position other than the boat, so we might see them mount up in the boats and pull around. But we have a small 3-man Blue 4 force now going to attack this major garrison as a squad is pulling out. So we might see Blue 4 get a decent opportunity here. And meanwhile, Blue 4 is sending a boat, or excuse me, Op 4 sending a boat up there. Perhaps because a helicopter was landed over here in the zone. Everything just seems really separated out. I just don't think there's going to be a winner for this scenario. Yeah, for all I know, those two are lost. Skipu and Pingus. Because they're just way out of the zone here. Got Blue 4 flying over. There's just a massive garrison over Blue 4's capture zone. And Op 4 sending these forces around. I don't know why. I think we're just going to see the round kind of get a few more small skirmishes. The main fight's going to end up being here, but it won't be much of a fight. Now we're seeing a spray of machine gun fire here. And we might see Op 4 send that force up and flank. That 50 cal also firing. One of the Blue 4 guys goes down because he stuck his head up a little too much. And now Despo and Timek are going to pull back. Huh. Oh, because they were told to go to bearing 300 on the compass, so they went there, and now they're completely lost. That's funny. I don't know what this Blue 4 group's going to do, because they're not going to be able to maneuver past the river because the Op 4 garrison's too heavy. This Blue 4 group will be able to do some harassment here, but Op 4 just have a stronger presence right there. We are now officially in late game. There's 30 minutes left on the clock. Op 4 could, in theory, grab these guys, load them in a boat, and move them down. Same with this other squad after they finish this flank, but I don't really see what else they can do because there's only 10 minutes left for that box to matter in terms of points. At least that's what I'm being led on to believe. Despo now coming out here to try to flank, but he's about to run into multiple Op 4 units that are going to be ready for him. Diablo, I think, just spotted him. Despo not looking to his right. Diablo, finish him. Finish him. Finish him. Yeah. Took Diablo a second, but he made it. And now Timek's pulling back, realizing he's being flanked and his friend is probably dead at this point. All right. Cool. Working on a side thing right now as well. Just got my second to last confirmation.
Let's give him a warm welcome shot.
Fun stuff. Duckseye taking fire from Timek. Massive amount of return fire on Timek's building. You gotta remember, this thin sheet metal, you can penetrate it with bullets. He's now trying to crawl away. He quickly gets out of there and he's running for his life. Rainbow, AT, double rainbow, more grenades. Even more AT. 8 minutes left for that box to mean anything. I guess you got these two Blue 4 guys that might cross the river and go in. I think they're going to just be lost the entire mission. So these two Blue 4 guys, looks like they took fire. They're now bandaging after they put some smoke down. So we do the commentaries every Thursday and Friday. Thursday is OFCRA, Friday is Friday Night Fights. PvP commentaries for Friday are 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and OFCRA officially starts at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but usually doesn't actually start till 4:30 or 3:30, excuse me. But it's a weekly thing. OFCRA has 1 day off every January, and FNF, to my knowledge, doesn't have any days off. Not sure if they use enough AT over there. Yeah, right? I think the guy depleted all of it. Timek going out on a flank here. You got OFCRA taking this hill. Blue 4, they were in positions down here. You see some craters, so there was a long-range engagement right here. They've now pushed back. Zicky also disconnects. Does that mean Zicky died? I know there was someone in chat saying he wanted to see Zicky dead. I don't see a body over here, but he was in charge of this group that got engaged, so he might have died. So I forget his name, but you probably got your wish, sir. Congratulations. Yep, Stealth. He disconnected, so I would assume that's because he died. Again, I don't see a body. I did see a smoke grenade up here, though. I know Zicky is a very aggressive player. He might have pushed up a little far and got mowed down by the OFCRA defensive line.
Let's give him a warm welcome.
Oh, I have Christmas. Stealth, what did Zicky do to you to make you want that? And why did my computer just give the sound notification of a device being disconnected and reconnected? Ah, great. There's the NSA now listening to me, isn't it? Oh, boy. Well, thankfully my camera's oriented on a goat right now instead of my face. That would be awkward. Looks like they found Timek and took him out. I don't see his marker there anymore. So Rick Hunter's carrying this box. In 3 minutes, that box will be worthless. So I think they're trying to run it into their capture zone last second, hoping that OFCRA doesn't see them. You got Seal taking shots by some. PHK now firing as they're now trying to sneak this box into their own capture zone. And they just took out the 2 sentries. Hold up. Is Blue 4 about to get this win last second? Because OFCRA had no security on the capture zone. Wait a second. Wait a second. AT going out, knocking out NASA and Swola. Pierce getting knocked out from the long-range Blue 4 group. Are they actually about to do this? Where's Rick going? Rick, no, the zone. Rick, you gotta get it in the zone. You have, 2 minutes. And they could wake up. PHK, I think, now running up to yell at him to go bring the zone. They should have gone it with the front gate. Where's Rick going? Rick! Rick, the zone! The zone! You need to get the box in the zone. You've got less than 2 minutes. What are you doing? No! Rick! Rick! Get in the zone! No! No, that's not the... Yes, okay. Oh, warmer? Warmer? Wait! Wait, he's doing it! He's doing it! Guys, he's doing it! Literally, in the last 90 seconds, Blue 4 has captured the box. With 70 seconds to spare, Falcon now coming in, trying to save it. He's got 1 minute. He knocks Rick out, but now the box is in the capture zone. Double taps going on Rick. That knocks him out, but now someone needs to get up there, grab the box, and pull it out, and they only got 45 seconds to do it. Can Falcon turn this around? I don't think there's enough time. He's got to kill PHK, sprint up there, and then yank the box out. And he's got 38 seconds to do it. He's too busy medicing. I think he's got multiple wounds here. He won't have the time. Gets a good grenade throw. Get some damage on PHK. 20 seconds. I think it's GG. I think Blue 4 just managed to score a victory here. Because Op 4 wasn't actually covering the zone. Falcon unable to line up a shot on PHK. And there you go. 70 minutes have officially passed. 70 plus the 8 minutes of save start. I think Blue 4 just won. Falcon being super aggressive here, killing PHK, but that's it. 70 plus 8 would be 86. 86 is... I'm just trying to make sure I got the time right. I didn't. 70 plus 8 would actually mean there's still a minute and a half left on the clock. Hold on. So it would be 1 hour and 18 minutes, not 1 hour and 16 minutes. So Falcon actually still has a minute to grab this box and throw it out of the capture zone. But is Falcon going to do that? Does Falcon know to... Well, it doesn't matter now, does it? Where'd Falcon go? Falcon died. Falcon's no longer, there he is, alive anymore. He took a nap. Falcon says fucking yellow unis, bright ass. So, now 20 seconds remaining. Op 4 in no position to move that box out. Now I think Blue 4 has made their victory. Streamer's curse? Yeah, right? So I guess these next 20 minutes are just dedicated to the supremacy bonus, but even if Op 4 were to kill all of Blue 4, Op 4 would still win because they have, excuse me, even if Op 4 were to kill all of Blue 4 would still win because the points for having the box in the capture zone is worth 3. Yep, completed by Blue 4. So there's the official counter there. So that's GG. That's GG. Because there's no other point values for... there's no other point values that Op 4 could get to bounce the round back. So Shrimp still picking off people. That's Korska going down. Let me tab out. Okay, no. So there is still the capture zone. My bad. So that is a thing. So it was 3 points to get that objective down. So what Op 4 can now do, and they're already trying to do this, is they're trying to move Op 4 forces here to take the capture zone. Blue 4's trying to move some forces in there as well. So now Blue 4 need to remount their forces and redeploy into the capture zone as Op 4 is now trying to play for a tie at this point. We're not out yet. I completely forgot about the capture zone. So both the capture zone and that objective that were just done are worth 3 points, and the supremacy bonus is worth 2 points, excuse me. And that's if only 5 or less players are alive on the opposite team, you gain 2 points. Green 4 has already been completely knocked out, so now it's just between Blue 4 and Op 4. Is it still round 1? OFCRA only does 1 major round, unless it's a Tuesday, in which case they do a bunch of mini rounds that are only like 10 minutes, and it's pretty funny. But Shrimp now coming in. Wow, that camo's good. Shrimp does not see tackle. It made him hesitate, at least. Did you just try to use a handgun? Just take the sight off of the rifle. 10 7.62 by 54 gunshots are better than your freaking 9 by 19 Parabellum. So Shrimp just fried 2 people's rice. Blue 4 remounting who they can in these helicopters to then pull them back. OFCRA maneuvering with the remaining forces here on boats. They might try to go pick up shrimp. They could then... Actually, I don't think they could take this river up, because this is all rice paddy here. Nope, there is a small river they could utilize to get all the way up there and deploy right on top of that zone. They will have to fight through blue for. And I see that a few of you are complaining about the balance of uniform. Just as a reminder, I don't make these events, I only commentate and spectate them. While I do sympathize with a few of the imbalanced choices that were made, I can't say anything bad because then I lose my job, so finger guns. Falcon, you can blame me all you want. I will just make sure you die next TSB op to some random bullshit, and we will all laugh it off. So Shrimp now patching himself up. Blue 4, meanwhile, they got everyone on the southern part of the river in this helicopter. They're now trying to maneuver them back. Looks like this helicopter here really struggling with its tail rotor. And I wonder if the helicopter's going to go down and pick up the rest of those guys. Also, it's starting to get a little darker, but we got a group of Blue 4 and a group of Op 4 about to be next to each other to take this position. And the two guys that are lost are now starting to move in to reinforce that zone cap as well. Shrimp might be able to catch a ride with these two boats. Op 4's in a slightly better position right now. They got more guys nearby the capture zone because this capture zone has a lot of open areas around it that can really help the defenders, but it also means a lot of spots where they can be picked off by marksmen because there are a good amount of sniper positions all around here. Roland trying to find a decent spot to land that helicopter. Op 4 deciding to land forces here. Shrimp might be able to get a reprieve. They might just follow up the river. I would have taken the boats and beelined it because at this point speed is everything. Because there's only 20 minutes left on the clock and the main remaining fight is going to be at this facility. So you want to get to the facility, the fortification, whatever you want to call it. Rather than spend, you know, another 10 minutes walking into it. So Blue 4 landed the helicopter. Actually, a few people are wounded, including the pilot. So I'm a little concerned why they're not pulling his body out to do medical on him. Op 4 starting to breach the zone. Blue 4's 4 guys up front. I'm not sure if they saw Op 4 coming in, but they are holding fast at the moment, I guess, to do recon, thinking that Op 4 already has control of said zone. Shrimp now walking out. He appears to be a cripple in combat looting. '19th got wiped out. I didn't see the machine gunner shooting at you. Ooh. Oh, yeah, you guys were hit pretty hard there. Waiting to see if Shrimp will come out and see the guys out here that are gonna rescue him, essentially. I think he's too busy combat looting. I'm gonna start turning my light on. Shrimp might actually get left behind here. Because it looks like Op 4 is pulling back to the boats. I think he's doing that to fix his crippled leg. He's trying to. No, he's still crippled. I think they just saw him. And now they're opting to pull back, not knowing if he was friendly or not. Maybe. I don't know. But that's kind of funny. The camos are pretty different, but who knows. Blue 4, meanwhile... What is he doing? Ha da 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 da. Are you kidding me? He missed. That one didn't. Oh, he dead. Hey, Don, can you give Falcon a timeout for me? Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, that just happened. Well, now Blue 4 no OPFOR are in control of the zone. We've got about 14 minutes remaining. Shrimp was not rescued, so he missed that chance. Boats are now going to come up the river and push in, but I think OPFOR is going to be able to hold the zone. We might see it go to overtime if Blue 4 still has a pretty nice chunk of forces in here. I think Blue 4, the zones also work even if you're unconscious, so if Urzato stays alive for the next 14 minutes, which I doubt it, he'll probably bleed out. He could theoretically knock it to overtime. Thank you, What's That? I'm glad you enjoyed it just as much as I did. So again, when I put these lights on, they cannot see these lights. These are purely for my client-side viewing. Oh, Ilbanek, what are you going to do? You hear those boats. Do it. Boat gets stopped. Mordau gets run over by the other boat. Grenade gets thrown under that one. He has successfully halted the reinforcements as Blue 4 command. Great job there. Now he's coming back up. He's got an ACOG. Takes out Oddity's head. 2XC sees the muzzle flashes, though, and manages to knock Ilbanek unconscious. You got Zeno and Lecarfor coming around on the northern side. Shrimp, I guess, will just be a perma-cripple. Because I believe he's still crippled. He had the opportunity to get rescued, but just was too busy trying to deal with the bandaging situation. So, OPFOR's QRF is cut off. Now it's up to Blue 4 to sandwich with their remaining two forces. They outnumber OPFOR's force, but it is now dark. We do see some units with flashlights. We see some marksman shots going out. Blue 4 could walk right on top of this defensive line and still sweep it. We do have Kaio over here, who has come up to this position and is slowly crawling in. He might be able to guide in the rest of his forces coming in, but it has gotten incredibly dark here. Now we're going to have CQC at night with little to no illumination. I mean, he's not alive. He's unconscious, which I guess still means he's alive. But as you can see, there's no body, so don't worry about it. Ooh, AT smacking the hill that Blue 4 is coming down from. Jonathan taking a little damage. You're seeing some GL fire going up there. How the hell did you see that? This is what it looks like. So how did you actually know they were coming up there? You know what I mean? Like, how did you see that? But I mean, yeah, if you guys are begging me to put night vision on, how did they know to fire an RPG up there? Like, that's a little suspicious if you ask me. Otherwise, Blue 4 starting to get their forces right on top of here. Again, they don't have night vision. Neither side has NVGs. They just have a few flashlights on some of their guns. Gamma client side at 2.0. Yeah, right? Some BS like that. I'll admit, I do it for DayZ, but I don't do it for frickin' Arma 3 PvP. That's just an unfair advantage. All right, we got about 8 minutes left on the game clock. Blue 4 folding their forces, and Blue 4... honestly in a good position to win this. If they take out this garrison, they should be fine. On the supremacy bonus, we've got a lot of people outside of the zone. I don't think Blue 4 is going to be able to score those 2 points, but at this point, the fight is for this zone. What OPFOR need to basically do at this point is survive till time and hope it doesn't go to overtime so they can then get their 3 points, and then it'll be a draw, and then no one wins anything. Yeah, I know. Press your advantages when you get them, but also don't do anything that's super gamey. Why would you throw that grenade from all the way back there? Nort has the right idea, knocking Primo with that nade. But when you're prone and the grenade goes off next to you, for whatever reason, Arma just lets you avoid most of the shrapnel. You might Forge. There might not be overtime, and it might just calculate whoever has more bodies in the zone, in which case I think Blue 4 has more bodies in this zone now. Now again, this is what it looks like. It is literally pitch black. And so Jonathan has his flashlight on. Here, hold on. I gotta see his POV. 1 second. Yeah, so we don't see his flashlight, but this is what it looks like for him. So he's doing his best. He is literally blind here. That's Settler. So they do have some flashlights, and that's helping Blue 4 get these early advantages. Diablo trying to fire up at Jonathan. Those two guys are lost. Yeah, they just need to come into the firefight, but at this point, I think they're going to just run out of time. Benares. Yeah, he literally has no idea where he's going. Literally blind. Again, this is what it looks like. It's pitch freaking black. Jonathan coming down, sweeping out the remaining two guys right here. Cheeseburger runs up and kills Benares. Kaihu's shooting up at Cheeseburger. I think it's gonna be GG. Blue 4 is gonna win this one. We got 4.5 minutes remaining on the clock. A flashlight on the RPG to let him fire over at the hill, the ridge side, right? Duck, double tapped. Principal, not double tapped. Cheeseburger, Pogo. Wait. There it is. All right. I think it's going to be a Blue 4 victory. They got the capture zone last minute, and they got this zone with a little more time to spare, but they're just systematically murking everyone. Jonathan on a roll, utilizing his flashlight when he needs to get those points. See, Blue 4 won by sending 2 people off at bearing 300. Can't kill the entire team if 2 are miles away. Very true. What's that? Very true. Oop, Cheeseburger. Let's look at it from his POV. Literally pitch black. Oh my god. I think he actually just managed to get Jonathan and the other guy there. Yep, they're both down. He's just running up to people and eliminating them. Is there someone right there? Or was that blind fire? We saw it on his POV. He was literally running up. I could barely see the outlines of them because they were being illuminated by Jonathan's flashlight being on. Hello? Are you friendly? Are you friendly? Cheeseburger plays no games. He plays absolutely no games. Which one's the real cheeseburger? ZXC taking out that guy, and immediately Nord starts shooting up at them. Well, Mordo tries to turn around, he gets his head blown off. Again, though, I wonder, like... Oh, no, we've seen the skyline. Oh, that's a beautiful way to do it. So we've seen the black silhouettes against the sky, which is still somewhat bright. Nord's a genius for that one. Less than a minute, there's a lot more blue 4 in than op 4. It might just default to a blue 4 victory, because they'll get the 3 points here, 3 points here with the other 3 points already scored. Jonathan now coming out and about. ZXC being incredibly cautious here. Now you got these guys coming around. Diablo might hear those footsteps. Pitch black PvP, baby. Oop, Massacre's coming in. He's got a flashlight. Oh, Diablo. Diablo was in trouble. All right, time might be called any time now. Op4 firing over at Massacre's flashlight. Ping is getting picked off by Howitz. Or is that Howlitz? I don't know. But again, yeah, it's the skyline. You see that little black bump right there? There it is. Oh, interesting. So every side gets a supremacy counter because one of the two sides got knocked out. So it ended up becoming an 8-point to 2-point victory. Otherwise, Blue 4 won. Cheeseburger just took Seal out. Op4 shooting at their own dudes. Punisher running over. I guess he doesn't realize that that's a friendly instead of an enemy, but all right. That is it. So I'm going to take a small break. Might come back before 8 o'clock tonight to play on the ground in a pog op. It's going to be Halo, and Falcon and I are going to be flying something, so God help us. And then 10 p.m. I'll try to play the TMTM op. Might also do some DayZ dev for something I'm working on. That'll be released next week, if not the week before. So thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers, and have a good one.